Should the Republicans blink at that moment? I want to get people ready for this right now. The Democrats will never give up on the abortion industry. You and I both know that. So should the Republicans be preparing now and educating the American people that they will do what it takes to end what is, in essence, support for infanticide?
Well, I certainly hope that the Democrats in Congress and in the Senate will be asked the question over and over and over again. I will certainly continue to ask the question of Hillary Clinton and anyone else. So will you. I hope every Republican does. I hope every media outlet does. Explain to me, explain more importantly to the American people, how you can continue to support a policy that it isn't a life until it leaves the hospital, and how can you continue to support taxpayer funding for this organization. We have to hammer away at that. Ask them the question.
Now, though, Carly Fiorina, I probably interviewed you 30 times. You're one of the best interviews out there. I tell people that's because you did quarterly conference calls on earnings for so long. But that's the first time I didn't get a direct answer from you. Maybe because it's a very difficult question. So I'm going to try it again. If it comes down to closing the government down or funding Planned Parenthood, what should the Republicans in the Congress do?
I apologize for not answering your question. They should close the government down. My point is this, however. We have a long way to go. And between now and then, beginning with this vote today, every single Republican out there, as well as I hope every media outlet, needs to ask the question that I have been asking for weeks. How does any Democrat justify their position? How does any Democrat justify the continued taxpayer funding of this organization? And if you really think it's necessary, then why don't you support taxpayer funding for pregnancy centers right next door to every single Planned Parenthood facility across this nation so that women really understand what their choices and their options are? We have to hammer the Democrats on this because, honestly, their position, which most Americans do not understand, that's the shame of it. Most Americans don't understand that the Democrats' position is it's not a life until it leaves the hospital. Most Americans don't agree with that position. We have to educate the American people about how extreme Democrats are.
Now, Planned Parenthood's defense is that the videos have been edited. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, I didn't hear anybody getting upset at an edited video about Mitt Romney at a fundraiser. Look, whether they're edited or not, and by the way, the people who have made these videos have also put the unedited videos out there for everybody to see. So if you want to watch the whole thing, you can. This is not about editing. This is about a horrific process of infanticide to harvest body parts. It is abominable.
Do you think the DOJ ought to, we've been talking about a lot about the Department of Justice, last question, there ought to be a special prosecutor looking into this as well about some of the attorney generals in the states are going after Planned Parenthood, but it does appear as though they have violated numerous laws.
Of course there should be, and my guess is there will not be, because the Department of Justice is, as we've talked about before, politicized. But I applaud the attorneys general across the country who are conducting their own investigation. It has to be done.
CarlyForAmerica.com. Carly Fiorina, I'm counting on you 11:06 on Thursday night. I hope we talk to you East Coast time. Don't go anywhere, America. It's the Hugh.